Now, a very popular version of the cosmological argument has been put forth by William Lane Craig. You've already seen a quote from him. His Kalam cosmological argument is really simple. This is the argument right here. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe had a cause. Well, that seems very intuitive, I think, all the way through. But let's spill it out a little bit to see the strength of the argument. So whatever begins to exist has a cause. This seems fairly intuitive, like, duh, nothing just pops into existence. You'd be surprised how many atheists trying to avoid the existence of God will start theorizing things popping into nowhere. But we know scientifically and experientially that things just don't pop into existence. Everything that begins to exist had a cause. So the next premise, so there's two premises and then a conclusion that just parts of an argument. The next premise is the universe began to exist. Again, you'd be surprised how many atheists even today are trying to avoid that conclusion, because ultimately what you get if you accept both premises is that the universe had a cause, and that cause had to be outside of itself. There's scientific reasons and philosophical reasons. I'm going to give two scientific reasons. The first scientific reason is just in 1929, Edwin Hubble was able to demonstrate or show that the universe is expanding by looking at certain lights coming from like radiation coming from the universe. He was able to show that the universe is actually expanding and expanding at a very consistent rate, and because of that, all you have to do is you determine the rate of expansion, and then you just go back in time. Eventually, you follow the expansion of the universe, you can come to a very obvious conclusion that there was a point in which the universe began. Now, along with that, you get the second law of thermodynamics, which is that the universe is slowly running out of usable energy. So really easily, if we're running out of usable energy, let's just say we have enough energy in the universe to last 10 billion years. It doesn't matter what time span I provide. But if the universe has always existed, if the universe is eternity years old, well, let's just go back to the beginning of eternity, which there's no such thing, but let's just theorize that. So the beginning of the eternity, well, guess what? 10 billion years in eternity doesn't make a difference. So then we'd be out of energy a long time ago. So there has to be a time when the universe had all this started, so then it had all this energy, which is how we got to now. Now, philosophy, I'm not going to go into it too much because it can get kind of complicated. My wife doesn't like it when I talk about infinity. There are different types of infinities, and one of the problems with thinking about the universe as being infinitely old is the fact that because it's just a cause and effect system, you run into the fact that the universe is what's called an actual infinite. But actual infinites get really, really strange, because if you take an actual infinite, for example, and you take out, for example, every single even number, and you're left with just odd numbers, how many odd numbers do you have left? An infinite amount of odd numbers. The issue here is that no matter how much of infinite time you go through, you still are left with infinity. You never what's called traverse the infinity. So this is just important, because if the universe has always existed, we'd never get to now. It'd still be an eternity in the past. So scientifically and philosophically, we have the understanding that the universe had to begin to exist. And I'm not talking about, like, oh, well, the Big Bang, the infinitesimal spot, because that spot where the universe had to begin, that's still part of the universe, part of the dominoes, part of the causal effect system. So if that system began, there had to have been something that outside of that system to start everything. And what other than God would be eternal, because it has to be outside of time and space, powerful to start everything, extremely intelligent. So what we have here is a very good, strong picture of God from the cosmological argument.
Thank Thank you for watching a video teaching by Matthew Files with Faith and Knowledge Ministries. If you are interested in having him come to your church to teach about a topic in apologetics or Christian philosophy, please contact him at faithandknowledgeministries@gmail.com or call 919-803-9146. You can also follow Faith and Knowledge Ministries on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, or visit Matthew's blog by going to matthewfiles.blogspot.com.